Hello everybody, this is Booty Bopper, here for a very quick video where I want to talk about a couple things. Thing number one is that I want to get a sense of what game in the Fire Emblem franchise people would want me to play, would want to see me play. So I've dropped a link to a straw poll in the description and as the pinned comment in the comments section for you to go and select which game you would like me to play. You can cast multiple votes if you want. You can cast one, you can cast multiple. It contains most of the mainline games in the series, all of the ones that I can easily play and actually record, so like no 3DS games, unfortunately. And then some of them are not on there, like Thracia, because I'm in the middle of blind playing that, and Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light for a reason that you probably know and we'll discuss in a minute. And Path of Radiance, because I don't want to play any more of that game, and you'll see why. Well, you know why if you watch the update video, and you'll see why in a couple days when we get more Path of Radiance on the channel. So whichever game comes out with the most votes is the one I'm going to play. I also have Tearing Saga on there, because I can play that, and I also have some ROM hacks on there, GBA ROM hacks like Justice and Pride, which is really good, and Last Promise. And I think Road to Ruin. But go in there, cast as many votes as you want. And by that I mean you can cast, when you fill it out, you can vote for multiple items. So, you know, it's pretty fun. And then the characters I use in whatever game is selected is going to be completely viewer determined, because I've played these games enough with my own, you know, picks of characters. So I would like to see what everyone else wants, what everybody else wants to see, what kind of characters. You can pick your favorites, you can troll me, but we'll have another straw poll up for that soon. So, important Fire Emblem news is that Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light was just announced today. You'll be seeing this the day after it was announced. I'm recording it in the afternoon when it was announced. And that's exciting. It's exciting that we're getting a legacy Fire Emblem. We're getting a Fire Emblem game that never came out in English, coming out newly translated with a bunch of quality of life features, including much easier bookmark system, the ability to speed up the game internally, and I think there's also, they said, some kind of feature where you can go back turns. I don't know if it'll work the same way as like a Divine Pulse, or if it'll be like more akin to like a Radiant Dawn battle save system. We haven't seen a whole lot of that yet. But big quality of life improvements to a very fun game. If you have seen, you know, if you've watched my videos, you know I talk a lot about that game. And by that I mean, if you've seen the Jagan video, and if you've gone and watched all the other scripts that I've written that haven't been made into videos yet, then you'll know I really like Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light a lot. It's not the most fun game to play, but I find it incredibly charming and incredibly endearing. So that's really exciting that it's coming out. Of course, no discussion of it is going to be complete without mentioning the big elephant in the room, which is Nintendo's brand new, newly discovered Disney Vault strategy of limited releases, which was a big controversy with Super Mario 3D All-Stars and is also a big problem with Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light. It's an interesting maneuver, shall we say, to go artificial scarcity on a game that has been completely scarce for 30 years now in the West, never before seen. And I think there's a lot of people that are hoping that Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light will set a precedence, that Nintendo will be releasing more of their legacy content. You know, Mother 3 is of course the big one that people want. I want it, you want it, everyone wants Mother 3. And then, of course, the other Fire Emblem games, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 12. People want those. I actually don't think there's going to be a precedent set for releasing those games. I think the precedent that will be set is the limited release structure. I think that is going to be what we get from this in the long run. I have my doubts that we will ever see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 12 in a Western release anytime soon. I also think Mother 3 is just very unlikely to happen anytime soon. And the reason why I say that partly is because if we're getting Fire Emblem 1, we're getting it in a terrific package, by the way. The physical release is very beautiful. and looks to be well worth the $50. I'm going to try to get it, but knowing that it's Nintendo, it's probably already been bought up by scalpers, even though they haven't at this point announced what retailers are carrying it as far as I know. It's probably already gone. So good luck getting that to everybody out there. But I think the fact that we have had such a slow drip feed of legacy content from Nintendo over such a long period of time, really going back to the Wii Virtual Console, so about, 14 years, and we're just never seeing old games that were, Japanese exclusive come to America. I think the only game I can think of is Mother 1, or Earthbound 0 as they called it in the West. So we just don't get it. And it's really a shame, too, because Nintendo has so many great franchises, so many great games, important games, great games, and they just do legacy content so much worse than everybody else. But I don't want to distract from the fact that this version of Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light looks terrific. It looks way more fun to play than on an emulator or on original hardware. The text looks absolutely gorgeous. You're probably seeing on screen right now footage from my emulated version of Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, and man, the thing is a garbled mess. Whatever translation patch I'm using is terrible. Not terrible in the sense that, like, it wasn't a good accomplishment. I really thank the people that worked on it and the fans that got this game to us in English way before Nintendo ever did. But it's a hot mess, and to actually get it in this nice, crisp, delicious version is going to be really nice. I haven't seen anybody mention it yet, but I really like that we're getting the Shadow Dragon versions of the names instead of like the fan community translated versions of the names. So like we know Sita instead of Sheeta, and I would assume other ones are going to go with that, like Draug and Aaron instead of Alan. That's probably up to personal taste, but I'm used to the Shadow Dragon versions of the names, so that's why I like it, but that doesn't matter. That's sort of immaterial. And of course, the quality of life features are terrific, and I'm so glad that we're going to have it. But I do think it is still really scummy that they're doing the limited release. I think it's kind of nasty, especially in the middle of a pandemic. Now, $6 isn't a ton. In fact, I'm impressed they're only charging $6 for it, considering the $60 they charged for that heaping pile of Super Mario 3D All-Stars just a few weeks back. $60 for 3 Mario games, 3 soundtracks, and they weren't even really ported all that well. Kind of a disaster. So only $6 is pretty good. But, when you're in the middle of like a global economic collapse and pandemic, $6 is a lot to ask for people to shovel out immediately. That's why I think it's scummy, because somebody who's in like a really hard financial situation right now, they're basically twisting your arm, saying you want it or not. And, I work with kids every day, and got nothing to eat. So seeing this sort of predatory behavior is very, like, it's bad. It's bad. It's a bad precedent that's going to be set. And I know I'm going to contribute to it because I'm going to buy the game. But I was going to buy it anyway, regardless of limited release. I'm not feeling pressured by the limited release to go and buy it. But still, like, that's scumbag play, and I feel like that is the standard that's going to be set rather than localizing other old Nintendo games. So, but still, I'm hype. The reason why Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light, by the way, is not on the straw poll list is because I do want to play it for the channel in some form when it gets officially localized, when the release happens on December 4th. But everybody's going to be doing that. Everybody and their dog is going to be playing Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light if you're a Fire Emblem channel of any size. So I want to find something different to do with it. Something a little bit different. I don't want to do a Let's Play of it. I want to do something maybe a little differentiated a little bit from what everybody else is going to do. But I'll figure that out by December 4th. But until then, I'll see you all later in the next video. We got some work coming out soon, so check it.